Welcome back to Love Your Shelf. I'm Tracy, and today I want to talk to you about a book haul that I did. Actually, I want to talk about multiple book hauls that I did over the course of summer, so the last 3 months probably, and today, because I got some today too. Specifically by going to my Goodwill, which some people don't like Goodwill and some people do, but what I like about it is if you get 10 books, then you get 25% off or something. So I end up getting books, 10 books for less than $20, which is less than $2 a book. It's incredible, and sometimes you find a lot of really good things, and sometimes you find a lot of things that you wouldn't normally read. So today I'm going to take you through the books that I've bought in the last 3 months, all for less than $100, and it's a lot of books. So I'm gonna start, see how we're not going through all these, but we're going through a lot of these. So the first one I found was Night Circus, which I've been wanting forever. Night Circus is one of my favorite books, but I read it audibly, so I didn't have it, and I found it. If you have never read anything by Erin Morgenstern, I recommend it. I only know 2 books that she's done, but both of them are incredible. The Night Circus is one of the first books that I've read in a long time that allowed me to visually see everything that was going on, because she's such an incredible writer and so good at describing things. And this is the type of book where you want to see and feel everything that's going on. It's just visually beautiful, and it's an incredible story, so I definitely recommend it. And that's one of the things I love about Goodwill, is sometimes you find books that you've been looking for a long time. So The Night Circus, definitely. I also found Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, which is pretty cool, but I really like this version of the book because it's beautiful. And there is, I think, somewhere in here, maybe not, I thought there was writing in here somewhere, but I guess not, so that's good. So I have this beautiful book from Jane Austen, Sense and Sensibility. And then I also got 100 Years of Solitude. So I have never read this book yet. There's a few YouTubers that have done everyone's favorite book, and 100 Years of Solitude comes up all the time when I'm looking through other booktubers stuff. So I want to read it. I haven't yet. It is on my list. I'm hoping I read it by the end of the year, but if not, I know it's going to be one of the first books that I pick up in 2023. So I'm excited for that. I also found The Kite Runner, and it's on here somewhere. I got multiple books by Khaled Hosseini, and The Mountains Echoed also. You can't see it right now, but it's here. And then I also got A Thousand Splendid Suns. So I've only read The Kite Runner. It's an incredibly sad and moving tale, and I'm really excited to read the other ones as well, but I know that I have to be in the right mindset for it, because it's just heavy and deep and depressing, but in a way that makes you feel, so that's good. I also got Daring Greatly, which is the first book by Brené Brown I ever read, and so I was really excited to find that, because normally it's $20 other places, so I got it for 2 plus 25% off, so yeah, that's exciting. Actually, I didn't get this one for 25% off. When I found it at Goodwill, it was the only book that was there, and I was like, I don't care, I'm getting it. And what's cool is most of these books, if you can tell, they're still in really good shape. Every once in a while you get one that's not in the best of shape, and I'll show you one of those, but they're still they're just books that have lived, so there's nothing wrong with that. When I was in California visiting my brother, my mom and I went to a Goodwill, so these are from different Goodwills than I normally go, but I found The Hate U Give, which I've been meaning to read. One of my friends read it, and she said it's incredible. And then I also found The Prince of the Skies, which is a story. It's a true story, well, it's based on the true story, by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, which I'm sure I messed that up. But he is the author of The Little Prince, which is a book I love. And I didn't know this about him until I found this book, but he's a pilot, and he is a writer, and he adventures all over the place. So I'm really excited to read about that, because I think about The Little Prince often. It is an incredible book. It's 85 pages. If you've never read it, please pick it up. So to read a book based on a true story by someone that wrote something I love so much, I'm very excited for that. So now we're going to go into these other books. I'm going to try to speed it up. We're at 5 minutes so far. So Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore. I've also read this. It's an incredible book. It is nothing that I expected it to be. It's kind of culty, but against the cult, and in a good way. Well, not really against, I don't know, read it. It's very quirky, but it's really good, and it's about a bookstore and the things that they do for people, so it's really cool. Eckhart Tolle is, this is called A New Earth. So I've read The Power of Now. That's what it's called, The Power of Now. I have it here. So The Power of Now is really good. They talk to you about pain bodies, which is like triggers, things that trigger you, where you have other pain bodies from your history, and so you're not really upset about things that people are doing or saying in this moment. It triggers pain bodies from your past, and that has really helped me realize when I'm upset, like, am I really upset about this thing you did, or did it bring back memories from this other thing I did? So that's really cool, self-help wise. And New Earth is awakening to your life's purpose. So that's something that I struggle with every day. I don't really know what my purpose is in this life yet. I'm still learning. So I'm really excited to read this, but it is dry because there's so much information. I don't know if this one is, but The Power of Now was. So I have to be also in a good mindset for that as well. So Trans Sister Radio is about a school teacher that develops a crush on someone, and like it's called Trans Sister because one of the characters is trans. So I'm excited about that one. And then And the Mountains Echoed, which we talked about a little. It's one of the Khaled Hosseini books. And then I also got The Traveler's Gift. And I don't remember what this one is about, but it sounded good. Oh, this one has writing. See, sometimes you get writing in it. So actually, I think that's Andy Andrews, which is the person that wrote the book. So I don't know if that's his real signature, but that's pretty cool if it is. So this says, what makes the difference between failure and success? 46-year-old David Ponder feels like a total failure, once a high-flying executive. He now works a part-time minimum wage job. His wife makes more money than he does by cleaning houses, and he drives an old car. Then an even greater crisis hits. His daughter becomes ill, and he can't afford to get any medical help she needs. When his car skids on an icy road, he wonders if he even cares to survive the crash. But an extraordinary experience awaits David. He finds himself traveling back in time, meeting leaders and heroes at crucial moments in their lives. And it keeps going on. So like this sounds really good because yeah, I'd never heard this before. So this is what I'm talking about. Like going to Goodwill does give you the opportunity to not only pick up books that you've read that you love sometimes, but also pick up books you would have never picked up because they're there and you've never heard of them in your life, because there's a million trillion books in the world. So I'm pretty excited about this one. And then I got Educated by Tara Westover, which everyone has talked about and I still haven't read. And it normally has really good reviews, but every once in a while you get a review where someone's like, no, this isn't great. And that's kind of hindered me from picking it up, but I probably should do that at some point and make my own decisions, which is one of the amazing things about the book community is like there's literally people that were on the same page with so many books, and then all of a sudden they don't like a book I love, or they do love a book I can't stand. So it's really cool to have so many different people that you think you align with, and you generally do, but it doesn't mean anything. So take the journey and read the book and figure it out. I also have Fall of Giants by Ken Follett. It's small, but it's huge. Everything Ken Follett does is gigantic. And I've read one of his books. It was like a huge thing for me because it was almost 1,000 pages and I hadn't read a book that large and so long. But it was really good, and so I'm excited for Fall of Giants as well. But it's huge, so I'm scared of it, and we'll see when I get around to it. So today I got Becoming, which I've also read by Michelle Obama, but I didn't have it yet, so I'm excited to have that. And then I also found Whoopi Goldberg, so this wasn't today, but it's a book called Book, in pure Whoopi Goldberg fashion. So I'm in love with Eddie, which is a movie that Whoopi Goldberg's in. It's my favorite Whoopi Goldberg movie, where she's a basketball coach. It's hilarious. I grew up in the 90s, so I'm a Whoopi Goldberg kid, and so I'm really excited to read her book as well. And then I also got My Old Man and the Mountain, which is about a guy who treks up a mountain with his son. Actually, I think it's multiple treks. It's a memoir by Leif Whitaker. So I'm excited about this, even though I don't know exactly what it's about, but I love adventure books and true stories about climbing mountains, even though I don't think I could ever do it. So that's exciting. Here is 1,000 Splendid Suns, which I got today as well. And then I've heard amazing things about Rebecca, but I have yet to read her. So it's a classic, and it was available. There's a lot of classics available in Goodwills also, which are awesome. So I got that as well to Goodwill. So The Art of Racing in the Rain is a super sad book. Don't read it unless you want to cry overall it's a guy that overcomes a million things and still is going. Like he's going through life, and it's by his dog. Like, so what I mean by that is it's the perspective of his dog. The whole book is the perspective of his dog, and I love dogs. So, but actually I think I read this when I didn't love dogs as much. So maybe if I read it now, I would like it more. I'd probably give it a 3.5, but it definitely makes you feel. So, the next book I got is 3 Cups of Tea, which is about, I'm just gonna read this part. So it says, here in Pakistan and Afghanistan, we drink 3 cups of tea to do business. The first, you are a stranger. The second, you become a friend. And the third, you join your family. And for our family, we are prepared to do anything, even die. So it's about a mountaineer that goes to Afghanistan and Pakistan, and like one school at a time, talks to people, and I don't know exactly, so I just got this today, so I don't know exactly what it's about, but it says one man's mission to promote peace, one school at a time, and I'm excited about that journey. So that's good. I also got Betwixt and Between. So this is essays on the writing life, and I want to be an author someday, so I'm interested in writing life and what that means. But also the real reason I got it is because it's called Betwixt and Between, and I love the word betwixt. It's one of my favorites. So I got Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me by Mindy Kaling. I got this one a while ago, actually. I love The Office, and Mindy Kaling's really funny, but I haven't read anything by her yet, and I feel like I'm kind of doing a disservice to her because I should be reading stuff by her, because she's hilarious and she has a good perspective on things. So I'm hoping to read that soon. And then I also got The Glass Castle. I have zero idea what this is about, but every list that's like, you should read this in your 20s, which I'm in my 30s, but who cares, says The Glass Castle is one of those books you should read, so I should have read it already, so I got it in case I ever decide to. And then The Client. So my uncle just passed away, and he has a ton of books, and some of them are John Grisham books. So my mom brought me over The Partner from his home, and it kind of brought me back like to my teens, where I read a lot of John Grisham books because, again, I'm a 90s kid, and The Client and The Firm were my favorites, and I saw this today and I was like, I need to just get it. I already have John Grisham. I should have my favorite John Grishams. So that's weird, but I don't care because I have it now. And I also got A Song Flung Up to Heaven by Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou. I don't know why I said that wrong. A Song Flung Up to Heaven by Maya Angelou. I have only read one thing by her, and I want to read more by her and Toni Morrison. So I'm glad that I got this because that will help me do that. I also got A Confederacy of Dunces, which I don't know what this is about, but I heard that it's very satirical and hilarious, and kind of like Idiocracy, if you've watched that movie, but in a different time period, like way back in medieval days-ish. So I'm interested in this, and I know that it's something a lot of people have read, and so I want to as well. I got The Know-It-All, One Man's Humble Quest to Become the Smartest Person in the World by A.J. Jacobs. So I've read a few things by A.J. Jacobs, but it was in like my 20s when I picked up a ton of books I never finished. So I've almost finished The Know-It-All. I don't remember how much I've read of it, but I saw it at Goodwill today and I was excited, so I got it. And then Even the Stars Look Lonesome looks amazing. I'm so excited for this book. I love when, I don't know if you can see it, but when the pages like don't line up quite right, like that, because it makes each piece of paper seem important, and it is, but in books where everything lines up, you just don't think about it the same way. So I'm excited about that. Present Over Perfect. I am currently working on Being More Present. I have not read this book yet, but I need to for Being More Present. And then I got Murakami, Colorless Tsukuro Tazaki in His Years of Pilgrimage. A lot of people talk about Murakami. I have read 2 of his books, Kafka on the Shore and Norwegian Wood, and I haven't decided if he's for me yet or not, but I'm interested. They're not like neither of them that I've read are my favorite books, but I want to see what more he has to offer because he is like a literary genius, just also with very sexist, misogynistic overtones, so we'll see. And then I got Elie Wiesel's Memories, and the reason I got this, I have not read it, is because I got Elie Wiesel's Night, and he also did Dawn. So he to, oh my gosh, an internment camp, and so Night is about like his time there. There's another one he did called Dawn, and then there's this one. So he's a survivor of the Holocaust, and his books are just, I mean, what can you say about it? Like, I don't even know. They're very eye-opening to horrendous things that happen to human beings because of the war. So I like reading him because he's a survivor. He deserves all my respect in the world, and he went through things I could never imagine or want for anybody. So yeah, those books. And then I also got this book called Weather by Jenny Offill because it's just different looking. I don't know why, but because it's so tiny. And so I wanted to take a look at it too. So I got that also. And then I got Kingdom Keepers. So I love Disney. I have no idea what Kingdom Keepers is, but I'm gonna learn. This is book 1, Disney After Dark, so I'm here for it. I also got One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, who's done Evelyn Hugo, who I've read and is very good. She's just came out with Carrie Soto. Of course, there's longer parts of these books. Carrie Soto is back, ? And she also did Daisy Jones. So I've only read the Evelyn Hugo one. I thought I'd give this one a try because Evelyn Hugo is like 4.5 stars for me. I liked that a lot. So there's that. And then I also got The Lost Cyclist, and I don't remember what this is about, but it says the remarkable story of two famous American cyclists, one who disappeared as he was about to complete a global circuit, and the other who bravely set off halfway around the world to unravel the mystery. So also based on a true story, the epic tale of an American adventurer and his mysterious disappearance. I'm very interested in this. It reminded me of To Shake the Sleeping Self, kind of, but like, and also Into the Wild maybe, because it's about, so To Shake the Sleeping Self is about a guy who bicycled from Portland to Patagonia, so cycling, and Into the Wild is John Krakauer doing like research and then making a book about a guy in his 20s who went into Alaska to go on a hike and then never came back, and they don't know what happened to him, how he died. So this is kind of, to me, like in the middle of both those books, and both of those books are like easily 5 stars for me. So I'm excited about this one. Hopefully it's just as good. Little Fires Everywhere has been really popular. Anything by this author, Celeste, I don't know how to say her last name, I'm so sorry, has been really popular lately, so I grabbed it, but I don't know if I'll ever read it. We'll see. Crazy Rich Asians. One of my friends read it. She said it's incredible, so I'm going to pick that up sometime. Blue Like Jazz is faith-based. I love jazz, and I want to do a video about books that have music in them, mostly so I can talk to you about the ensemble and On the Road Again, but maybe this book too, we'll see, because I'm going to read it and it'll make it in there, so I'm excited about that. The Essential Rumi, I haven't read, but I've read some things like here and there, quotes from Rumi, and I'm excited about what he has to offer. The Beach Street Knitting Society and Yarn Club seems like a pretty good like fall chill book, so I'm excited for that. And then We're Going to Need More Wine by Gabrielle Union, because I love memoirs, so it sounds good. Then I also got Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. My friend that said Crazy Rich Asians is good also said Born a Crime by Trevor Noah is one of her favorite books that she read last year, and I love Trevor Noah, so I need to read that. Tiger Lily. So I had heard about this book, and my arm looks weird like that. I had heard about this book for a while, and I couldn't find it anywhere, like maybe on Amazon, but I didn't really want to buy from Amazon. And I walked into my Goodwill one day and it was there, which is the start of my Goodwill book haul love. And I read this, and it's easily a 4.5 stars for me. It's about Tiger Lily from Peter Pan and their relationship, and it's really good. Homes is about the Syrian civil war and a family within it, and that was going on during my, not childhood, like teenage years, and it was crazy, like just the way I lived versus the way this kid lived, and it was really eye-opening and also a really good book. The Year of Yes. So I had read The Year of Yes before. It's probably one of my favorite books. It's by Shonda Rhimes, who does a million things. Grey's Anatomy is her most famous, probably, and she has just a year where she says yes to herself, and it pretty much changed her life, and it helped her lose weight and did a whole bunch of different things, and I am here for it. She was hilarious. I love the inspiration it gives. The next book I got is Ender's Game, which I read forever ago, but I love it, and I sold my copy when I thought we were moving into an RV, so I was excited to get this one back. And then I got The Lost Continent by Bill Bryson, which is Travels in Small Town America, so that's cool because I want to read it and then go to some of the places that he mentions, and I love Bill Bryson, so I'm excited for that too. And then you think it's over, but it's not. We have more. I also got The Help, which I haven't read, and I heard that it's amazing. I'm actually probably going to read that soon. So Hector and the Search for Happiness. I read this and it was weird. It has some weird parts in it. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but he also, so it's about a psychiatrist that wants to learn like what makes people happy and how to be happy because of all the people he talks to that aren't. And so he goes on a pursuit to find happiness and ends up meeting some interesting people, and a monk that kind of talks to him about happiness, and a guy that actually researches happiness and like the math for it, which is interesting. Hold please. Homegoing by Yag Yazi. I think that's how you say her name. I'm very sorry if it is not. But I've heard that she is an amazing author and I really want to read her, so I got Homegoing for that, and I'm excited to read that also. I'm hoping to read that by then. Also got Everybody Always. I don't know what this is, but the book is so beautiful because it's colorful, and it's also like kind of self-helpy, which I'm into, so there's that. I got The Pirates. So this is 2 books. It's The Pirates in an Adventure with Scientists, and then it's also The Pirates in an Adventure with Ahab. And I couldn't not get this. I think it's going to be hilarious. I hope it's kind of like The Pirates of Penzance, but in book form, because The Pirates of Penzance is amazing. So yeah. Then The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared. I have heard absolutely amazing things about this book. I want to read it. I have not yet. I'm hoping I get to do it soon. So I got that. Tell the Wolves I'm Home. So I have no idea what this book is about. I purely got it because I've seen it before and I'm in love with everything about it. The title, the cover of the book, the color, this like minty with the black teapot. I'm in love with it. And then I dropped a book. I'll pick it up later. Oscar Wilde and the Dead Man's Smile. I have zero idea. Well, it's about Oscar Wilde, obviously, and I love Oscar Wilde, so I'm here for that, and it looks pretty cool. It has purple and blue, and purple is my favorite color, so I'm stoked about this also. And then The 13th Tale, which is a book I've heard a million things about, but I still haven't read it, and I really want to. So those are some, like literally most of the books I think that I got just this summer, all for under $100. It took us a half an hour to get through that. Hopefully you guys looked at something that you might like, and also hopefully you go to your Goodwill and get some books for cheap, and then you can talk about them too and tell other people, and everyone will prosper. Thank you so much for joining me on Love Your Shelf. I hope that you have a great day. Subscribe if you like this video. Take care. Namaste.